So if you're transitioning into starting your own business, there's one type of insurance that everyone seems to forget. If you skip it, it could cost you thousands in legal fees or even put you out of business. In 2023, my partners and I opened up our own physical therapy practice right here in New York City. We spent months trying to figure this stuff out in the beginning, and so in this video, I'm gonna save you time, money, and stress by telling you exactly what insurance it is and how to get it. That way, you'll be one step closer towards protecting your business and making money. Professional liability insurance protects your business from claims of negligence, errors, or not delivering on the promises that you make in your professional services. It covers legal defense costs as well as any other financial damages that might happen when someone sues you. And depending on what industry you're in, this is also referred to as malpractice insurance or E&O insurance, meaning errors and omissions insurance. Professional liability insurance is basically your safety net as a business owner, especially if you have a brick and mortar location or if you provide in-person services. These kinds of claims happen more often than people think. You never know when someone's gonna sue you. Even if you're doing your job correctly or if you're doing everything right and if you're careful, it only takes one person to sue your business. So for example, in the physical therapy world, if one of my clients claim that I made their condition worse, theoretically they could sue me. And that could end up costing us thousands in legal fees, even if the case has no basis. So the bottom line is if you're a brick and mortar business or if you provide in-person services, professional liability insurance is a must. And honestly, even if you don't have a brick and mortar location, or if you don't do in-person services, I still recommend getting professional liability insurance. Because if you're in any field where you're giving advice, you're giving consultations, even if it's online, someone could sue you if they feel like your advice is causing them harm or not giving them the results that you promised. So one of the main things that I was confused about when we were going through this was the difference between general liability insurance and professional liability insurance. I made a whole video about general liability insurance in a previous video in this series, and so be sure to check that one out after this video. So yeah, the difference between general liability insurance and professional liability insurance kind of tripped me up when we were going through it, and so right now I'm gonna clearly explain the differences between the two, and then I'm gonna give you some real world examples. So general liability insurance covers bodily injuries, property damage, and other physical risks associated with your business operations. It's essential for protecting your business from third-party claims for incidents that occur on your premises or as a result of your business activities. Professional liability insurance, on the other hand, focuses on claims related to professional errors, omissions, or negligence in the services that you provide. It's really important for businesses that offer specialized services or advice to protect them against claims where their services caused harm or were insufficient. And so a perfect example of this would be a physical therapy practice. So think about it like this. Basically, general liability covers physical accidents. So if someone is walking in your gym, trips over a dumbbell and breaks their wrist, or if there's a leak in your ceiling and it damages your client's property, like their phone. Professional liability covers mistakes in the services that you provide. So if someone says that your advice or your treatments made their condition worse, or if you didn't deliver on the outcomes that they were expecting. You need both if you're a brick and mortar business or if you're a service-based business. But honestly, if you're any business, I don't see why you wouldn't get both of these insurances just to make sure that you're covered. So now let's go through how to find the right provider. And finding the right provider is gonna save you time, money, and a whole bunch of headaches. Not all insurance companies are made equal, and some are gonna be easier to work with than others. I recommend looking at industry-specific providers first. And so I have a bunch of the providers that we actually looked into when we were going through this process written down here. And so if you're in healthcare and wellness like us, I recommend companies like HPSO, CM&F, and Berksey. All of those seem pretty solid and they had really good reviews when we were doing our research. And all of these insurances have a lot of experience in the healthcare and wellness space, and so they'll definitely be able to accommodate any specific needs that your business might have. The nice thing about industry-specific insurance companies is that they understand your industry, obviously, and they also offer better coverage terms. And you should also look at broader providers too, like nationwide providers. And so Hiscox and the Hartford are two big ones that we found when we were doing our research. And oftentimes the bigger companies will allow you to bundle insurance plans together. So for example, you might actually be able to get general liability insurance and professional liability insurance in one insurance company. My personal recommendation, I think the best thing that you could do is contact other business owners in your industry and see what insurance company they use, because they probably did a lot of the research for you. And you can ask them specific questions regarding exactly what you're trying to do with your business. And so yeah, I think the best thing you could do is ask other business owners in your industry what insurance companies they go with. So how much does this usually cost? The cost of professional liability insurance is gonna vary depending on a lot of different variables. The main variables are gonna be your industry, your location, how much money your company brings in, and how many employees you might have. So to give you a ballpark number, I have some of the quotes and the research that we went through when we were doing this. And so we started our physical therapy practice in Manhattan with 3 therapists. And so we were getting quotes around $500 to $800 a year. And if $500 to $800 a year sounds expensive to you, just remember that if you're in a lower risk industry, or if you're in a lower cost of living area, your cost will probably be lower than that, because we had 3 therapists, we're in Manhattan, which is expensive. And so just know that the prices vary. Don't just take what I just said as fact. So make sure to get multiple quotes, shop around a little bit. Make sure you spend some time analyzing the different plans and the different terms that they offer. So here's where I feel like a lot of new business owners mess up. The first common mistake is that they go with the cheapest policy. And like a lot of things in life, you get what you pay for. And so oftentimes the cheapest policy comes with a lot of exclusions or just doesn't really provide that much coverage, especially enough coverage for something that you might need in the future. Or oftentimes the cheap plans might not have your business's specific needs included. The second mistake that I think a lot of people fall for is they don't bundle. So oftentimes you can get professional liability insurance, general liability insurance, property insurance, all in one place, and oftentimes they might even give you a discounted rate. And so this is one mistake that I think we made. It's not the worst thing in the world. We ended up buying insurance separately from different companies. I think if we did a little more research and found a company that provided all the insurances that we needed, we could have got a bundle package that maybe would have saved us a little bit of money. Another mistake a lot of people make is they wait too long to get these insurances. And so trust me, the last thing you want to do is wait until someone sues you or until something happens or breaks in your place and you need insurance. That is not the time to be looking for your policy. So before me and my partners opened up this business, I was working sort of 9 to 5 at a regular physical therapy clinic. And so I'm just gonna walk you through what I was doing back then to protect myself when I started working on the side. So back then, it was around like 2019, I got professional liability insurance on my own from HPSO. And so if you're a physical therapist or any other healthcare worker working with clients on the side, I highly recommend HPSO. It was pretty affordable and it gave me a lot of coverage. I think there were some plans that give you up to $500,000 in coverage, and then other plans that give you $1 million in coverage, and then obviously there's more if you want to pay for more. So the plan that I got was $120 a year at the time. I think my payments ended up being like $127 and some change because of some New York State specific taxes, and so that might be something to look into. I renewed that insurance every single year up until 2023 when we started this business. And every year I renewed it. It did go up a little bit by a few dollars. And so I think taking the extra money to get professional liability insurance as you're starting to see clients on the side is super important, because not only does it cover you, it also just legitimizes you as a business. And I know paying hundreds of dollars on insurance is not fun, and it's kind of annoying to see money go out the door towards something as boring as this, but if you want to take your side business seriously, it's something that you just have to do. And honestly, in my opinion, the peace of mind that you get from having professional liability insurance is totally worth it. Now that your business is protected with professional liability insurance, your next step might be protecting your personal money with a business bank account, which I talk a lot about in this video.